Good morning. My name is Boniface Kunda and I'm a student at Evening College. My examination number is 878523. So in this video I'll talk about the 6 audio equipment needed for the recording to take place. You need several things for the recording to take place, but in this video I'll talk about the 6 important audio equipment that you need for that recording to take place. So first of all, with me here I have the cables. I'll first start by explaining the functions of what each and every one of these cables do and what they actually provide in the studio, what their role is. First of all, I have my power cord here. This is my power cord or my power pack. It's the one I'm using. So basically this cable is used to supply or transmit power to studio equipments like studio monitors, mixers. It could be your audio interface, depending on the type that you're using. So but in this particular video I'm using it for my studio monitors, which are these ones. And next here I have an XLR cable. So this is actually an XLR male to female. This is the male side of this cable and this is the female side of this cable. So this cable is also known as a microphone cable, because one of its functions is that it is used to connect a microphone to an audio interface. So an audio interface or to mixing boards. So this cable is actually known for its durability, and it's also called a balanced cable because it carries a balanced audio signal. So this cable features 3 pins inside here. As you can see, 3 pins, addition pins, 3 pins are the ones that are coming to this side. So there's pin 1 here, which is called the shield or the ground. It's responsible for grounding, in order to reduce or avoid noise or interferences, frequency interferences. And then there's pin 2 here, which is known as the positive. It's called the positive because it is responsible for carrying positive phase of an audio signal. And then there's pin 3, which is known as the negative. This pin is actually responsible for carrying the negative phase of an audio signal. So all these pins work together in order to make this cable a balanced cable. So these cables are used in professional studios and they're recommended cables that you use. So apart from the microphones, you can use this cable on different audio equipment, but in this case I'm just using it for my microphone, to power my microphone. And next again I have an XLR cable, but the difference with this one is that it features a TRS on the other side. So this is called an XLR male to TRS quarter inch. It's called a TRS because the TRS stands for tip, the ring and the sleeve on this cable. As you can see here, these lines, so this cable is also used for to connect my audio interface, or to send signal from my audio interface to my studio monitors. So this is the side that goes to my studio monitors, and this is the side that goes to my audio interface output. So this cable, so on the XLR side, this is the side that sends balanced audio signal, and then this is the side that accepts balanced or unbalanced audio signal depending on what you are using it for. It could be an instrument. And next here I have a USB printer type cable, or type A to type B. This is how it looks like. So this cable has several functions out there. It can be used for printers and whatnot, but in the studio context I'm using it to connect my MIDI device to the computer, and it can also be used to connect to an audio interface to the computer, allowing musicians and producers to actually have control over the software or the DAW, which is the digital audio workstation in the computer, for recording purposes. Just in case you want to use a MIDI keyboard, you need this cable to connect your MIDI keyboard to the computer in order to gain access to the software that you want to use on the DAW during recording. And number 2, out of the 6 audio equipment needed for the recording to take place, I will talk about the MIDI device or a MIDI controller here. So yeah, as you can see it from here. So this MIDI controller, its function is simply to send MIDI messages or MIDI data to the DAW or the computer or the software instruments that are in the computer. Or it can also be used as a trigger, because it triggers sounds that are in the software. So as you can see here, they are actually in several types, but for this particular recording, I'm using an Impact LX25 Plus, and it's actually 25 keys here. So this MIDI has got features. It's got the pad section here, and this pad section is simply it works to trigger drum sounds, or it can also be used as it can also be called as a drum pad, because you can play drums using here, just in case you don't want to plot. Oh yes, in the piano roll. And then next here, as you can see, these round things. So this one is called a modulator. It's called a modulator. It's used for modulation. And then this one right here is a pitch bend. And then it's called a transpose buttons here. Just in case you're not comfortable playing all the keys, you can use the transpose. And then there's an octave here. You can use these knobs to move your octave. If you are not comfortable playing on these octaves, you move them to the other one. And then it features also the knobs and the faders. So so basically this one has got one fader, which is for the volume. So yeah, so basically these faders and the knobs are actually used for effects and for volumes. So just in case I can't reach my mouse when tracking or recording, I can just be using controlling everything on this MIDI device. And by MIDI, we simply mean musical instrument digital interface. It's a very powerful tool in the studio, and for professional recordings, you require to have a MIDI device or a MIDI controller in the studio. And number 3, I have an audio interface, and the brand name for this audio interface is called Complete Audio 2. It's called the Complete Audio 2, and this is how it looks like. So this audio interface, it is used to capture high quality audio signal or to maintain the high quality audio signal of either an instrument or a microphone, depending on the input, whatever you're using it for. So and also the other function for this audio interface is that it actually converts the incoming audio signal from an analog to digital audio signal, so that it can be processed by the computer, allowing musicians, the producers to have access. So after the processing is done, it actually converts the digital audio signal that was converted from an analog back into an analog, so that and then it is sent from these outputs to the monitors, so that our ears can actually perceive, and that's the sound that we perceive as it was designed. And this audio interface has got features here. So this is the volume knob, and then this is my volume knob for the headsets, in case I plug in the headsets here, and this is for my phantom power switch if I'm using a condenser microphone. And then this is my gain, because it's got 2 inputs on the preamps here and 2 outputs here. So this is the gain knob that controls the first input here, and then this is the gain knob also that controls the second input. And then I can be using this switch in case I'm using an instrument or a vocal. I switch to where it says line if I'm using a mic, and if I'm using an instrument, I switch to where it says instrument. And then this is where my type A to type B is plugged in for it to be recognized by the computer. And next I'll talk about the computer and the DAW, also known as the digital audio workstation. So for the computer I'm using a MacBook Pro, and for my DAW I'm using Reaper. There are several types of DAWs, so as computers also, depending on the producer's preferences. There's Logic Pro, there's FL Studio, there's just a lot, and there's also Ableton. So depending on the producer's preferences, like I've said, yes. So but in this particular illustration I'm using Reaper. So a computer is basically an electrical device that is used to perform various tasks. It can be used for recording, mixing, and and whereas the DAW itself, this is a musical software used in music production for recording, editing, mastering. Yes. So, and it is run by the computer. You have to install it in the computer for you to be able to record, and you record using the computer. So these two work together, allowing musicians and music producers to have access or to be able to record, mix that audio. And next I'll talk about the speakers. For the speakers, these are my studio monitors. They're the ones that I'm using. So the function of these studio monitors are simply to they actually convert the electrical audio signal into sound wave, that is which our ears are able to perceive, and I'm actually using them to actually monitor the sound. They actually used for monitoring the sound, monitoring the sound during recording, mixing, editing. Yes. So, and then they also provide a flat frequency response, allowing producers, music producers, and musicians as well to hear the sound accurately, even during fine-tuning level, just to create. They also help us in creating a well-balanced mixed, because I'm able to hear the quality of the vocal, how the instrument is sounding, if there are any distortion in the recording. I'm using the speakers to hear all those problems, extraneous issues that might exist in the recording. Last but not the least, I'll talk about headphones. Headphones, and with the type of headphones, first of all, that I'm using the in-ears. These are recommended headphones for the studio. They are in types, and too many types of headphones. So headphones, these are just it's simply a device that allows music producers, musicians to listen to the audio, music, the sound uh, during the mixing stage, the mastering stage, when editing, spotting out problems. Headphones have got several functions, and they also have an advantage to, unlike studio monitors also. So as producers, it's important to have various ways of listening to the audio when spotting out problems in the mix. Uh, you after the studio monitors, you later go on to use headphones, because headphones are also used for monitoring the sound and monitoring the audio that you have recorded. You want to spot out problems, issues, and also headphones can be used for live music production. And for musicians, headphones are also used for listening to the quick tracks, backing tracks, and the lead vocal as well, without the or minus the leading or the mic bleeding into the headphones. Listening to the quick tracks while it's playing, you're listening to yourself. Even during the mastering stage, you need headphones for you to spot out what is wrong, which one which track is higher than the other one, which track is distorting, which track is supposed to be worked on, or added the EQ on, or add the reverb on. And you're only able to spot out those problems using the headphones.